is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Adesua Suyi, and this is Africa Now. On Monday in Paris, one of two Belarusian mercenaries, along with two Ivorian co-pilots, went on trial for murder. The three men are accused of carrying out the raid on the French-keeping forces in Bouaké camp, Ivory Coast, on November 6, 2004, which killed 9 soldiers. An American aid worker injured 40 others and sparked furious reprisals by the French, causing a deep rift in Franco-Ivorian relations. All three were among crew members caught on camera after landing at an airport near a capital, Yamoussoukro, following the bombing raid. Officials close to Gbagbo, who was toppled by French-backed rebel forces in 2011, claims that the pilot mistook the French camp for rebel positions. But some suspect it was a deliberate hit aimed at clearing a path for Gbagbo's forces to storm rebel-held territory, or even that France itself masterminded the attack on its forces to have a pretext to try chase Gbagbo from power. None of the suspects were present in court, and their whereabouts are unknown. If convicted, they face a maximum term of life imprisonment, but as their whereabouts is unknown, it is unlikely they will serve jail time in France. South Africa President and President of the African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa, has told members of his party they must resign within 30 days of being charged with corruption or face suspension. Ramaphosa made this known while addressing an executive meeting of the African National Congress.
The NEC reaffirmed the resolutions of the 54th National Conference on ANC credibility and integrity, as well as decisions of the NEC meetings. All members who have been charged with corruption or other serious crimes must step aside within 30 days, failing which they should be suspended in terms of Rule 2570 of the ANC Constitution. The meeting emphasized that the 30-day period will be used to enable the implementation of the decision in line with the guidelines, and this is not for the
Ramaphosa has been at odds with the ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule, who denied corruption charges against him and has refused to step aside. The president pledged to clamp down on corruption in the ANC after becoming party leader in 2017. Executive Director of the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, Henrietta Fore, in a press statement has said children are the major recipient of the brunt of the recent attacks in Palma, Mozambique, and other devastating previous attacks. Fore disclosed that the full impact of the deadly militant attack in Palma, northern Mozambique, is not known, but fears it will be brutal on children. She further revealed that Palma was already hosting well over 35,000 people, forcibly displaced from other areas of the province due to previous attacks. Half of them are children. She added that until small amounts of food and other supplies started coming in recently, much of the district beyond the provincial capital had been virtually inaccessible to humanitarian workers struggling to provide assistance. Also, the 3 remaining functional health facilities are no longer operational, and the main hospital has been destroyed, she said. Fore promised UNICEF will continue working with partners to meet children's urgent needs and called on all parties to do everything in their power to keep children out of harm's way, the statement said. To COVID-19 developments in Kenya, courts, tribunals, and all registries in the 5 Kenyan countries that President Uhuru Kenyatta declared COVID-19 infested have been closed by Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, saying all operations will remain suspended until further notice. However, she noted that matters requiring a hearing and filing during the period will be treated virtually. Presiding judges and heads of stations and divisions in Constitution with their bar bench and court users committees shall issue guidelines to address any unique issues arising in their jurisdiction, she said. The other 42 countries will adhere to the COVID-19 safety protocols that were issued in March last year by the retired Chief Justice and the National Council of Justice Administration, NCJA. With regard to President Kenyatta's directive for public and government offices to allow employees to work from home, Justice Mwilu said each court station, tribunal, directorate, and implementing unit in the zoned area will develop and submit a weekly review to the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary. The duty roster will adhere to a requirement for only 30% of staff to be in an office at any given time, she said. Still in Kenya, the country's Ministry of Health on Monday said the country is facing an acute shortage of oxygen in hospitals across the country. The rising number of COVID-19 cases is the cause for the shortage as the country experiences a daily third wave, resulting in some Kenyans and private institutions stocking up on the commodity. Health Minister Mutahi Kagwe said Kenyans were holding some 20,000 oxygen cylinders in private facilities, homes and institutions. He said the cylinders were desperately needed in public hospitals to save lives and appealed to Kenyans to take them back to manufacturers.
We need to increase the infrastructure for piping in hospitals. What is now happening is that in a lot of facilities, individual cylinders are being used per patient, so that you have got an oxygen cylinder sitting next to a patient. Now, this is inefficient and dangerous. It is inefficient because one cylinder can be used by quite a number of people if the oxygen has been piped to the bedsides. So we are asking our facilities, both county facilities as well as national government facilities, to fast-track the piping of oxygen to bed outlets so that we can be able, some of them. The second thing about the danger is, of course, this is the pressure. Cylinders, they are pressurized. And anything can happen when you have got something like that sitting next to.
The market demand for oxygen has more than doubled to a current demand of 880 tons from 410 tons before the arrival of the pandemic, according to the Health Ministry. Kenya has confirmed more than 130,000 cases of coronavirus infections and over 2,000 deaths. This is your digital first Pan-African News Television TOS network. You are watching Africa Now. Up next, Tanzanian newspaper apologizes over advert warning of new President Samia Suluhu Hassan, and sports. After the break, do stay tuned. Welcome back. Tanzania's Standard newspaper, the government-owned newspaper, has apologized after it accidentally printed an advert mourning the death of new President Samia Suluhu Hassan. An apology from the Daily News managing editor said that the message had meant to congratulate President Samia after she took over from her predecessor, John Magufuli, who died 2 weeks ago. The management of the newspaper also suspended the acting head of advertising and head of front desk and customer care, pending investigation into their failure to ensure quality control of adverts. The paper states that disciplinary will be taken against all to be implicated against all upon completion of the investigation. And in sports, beating Uganda by a solitary goal at the Kamuzu Stadium in Blantyre on Monday, Malawi sealed the second remaining spot from the Group B to qualify for their first total African Cup of Nations AFCON since 2010. Richard Mbulu scored the game's only goal in the first half. Malawi scored on the quarter-hour mark when Mbulu dived in to add a well-delivered cross from Stanley Sanudi on the right, sneaking in front of defender Ronald Mukibi. Egypt finished top of Group G in the qualifiers for next year's Total Africa Cup of Nations after a defeat of Comoros in Cairo. Mohamed Salah brace with two other goals from Mohamed Sharif and Mohamed Eheni saw Egypt overpower Comoros 4-0 within the opening 25 minutes, concluding the qualifiers with 12 points and an unbeaten run. Mohamed El-Neni opened the scoring in the 15th minute. 2 minutes later, Mohamed Sharif scored with a simple finish one-on-one with the keeper. In the 21st minute, Salah scored his first goal of the qualifier after a cutback from Mohamed Sharif. 4 minutes later, the Liverpool man completed his brace after rounding off the keeper and tapping into an empty net, with Afshar registering his second assist of the evening. In basketball, the Basketball Africa League BAL Monday announced that the league's historic inaugural season will tip off on Sunday, May 16, at the Kigali Arena in Kigali, Rwanda, with 12 teams from across Africa competing in the new professional league.
Today, I am excited to announce that the inaugural season of the BAL will tip off on May 16th with the final game on May 30th. 12 teams from 12 different African countries, 26 games, all in one location, the world-class Kigali Arena in Kigali, Rwanda. Our goal is to build a top-flight competition that will reflect the continent's talent, passion, and love for the game of basketball. With our partner FIBA, we created the Basketball Africa League to provide a platform for elite players from across the continent to showcase their talent at home and inspire more young boys and
The 12 club teams from 12 African countries that will compete in the inaugural BAL season are Algeria, Angola, Cameroon, Egypt, Madagascar, Mali, Morocco, Mozambique, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, and Tunisia. Champions from the national leagues in Angola, Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, and Tunisia earned their participation in the inaugural season. The remaining 6 teams, which come from Algeria, Cameroon, Madagascar, Mali, Mozambique, and Rwanda, secured their participation through BAL qualifying tournaments conducted by FIBA Regional Office Africa across the continent in late 2019. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, do visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Do also follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. My name is Ade Suwa Osuyi. Thanks for watching.